I mean, we've got family in the room. Is it weird when you got the people that are like actually looking behind the camera and we do the round of applause thing and nobody says hi?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yvonne Cornejo is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause, please. Just proof that there are other folks that are in the house. Yvonne, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I mean, it's New York City. We were, before we started rolling here, talking about how it is the complete opposite of Riverside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
California is the slower vibe, but New York City doesn't have Radio City Music Hall. I mean, California doesn't have Radio City Music Hall. You got to be here for a couple of amazing nights right down the street, dude. Let's talk about how this tour felt when you made your stop into one of the most iconic buildings on the planet, dog.
Sure. Yeah, it was a dream come true, of course, and just very grateful with, like how the crowd and the people really received me here.
Yeah.
It's great.
Can I be honest, man? I was listening to a lot of the music. I have been for a while. Today, I made the mistake of listening before I came to work here, and I didn't know, and I didn't feel like I was going to be in my feels like I was on a Tuesday with the dreary weather that we have here in New York City. I'm like, oh, man, this is hitting the heart. You're creating some real music, and even though Spanish isn't a lot of people's first language, it is really special how music transcends, dude. What does it mean to you to be able to share your culture and your heritage through music and watch so many people collectively feel because of what you create?
Yeah, it's a beautiful feeling being able to write and watch it go from like a tiny room to the Radio City Music Hall, and it's crazy. I would have never thought my music would be heard in New York and in
not just New York, across the world, bro.
Across the world, yeah. Exactly. And super unreal for me, and I'm still like just enjoying it all as I go.
What would you tell, like 7 or 8 year old Yvonne? What would you say to that young dude who decided to pick up the guitar for the very first time or the instruments for the very first time, and to where you are now, and it's still just beginning? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What would you tell yourself?
That you're in for a treat, man. You're in for a treat because it's literally all I ever dreamt of, and I finally have it, and I'm super grateful for it. And I think dreams keep growing and evolving as I evolve, and I think there's always something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And super.
With that, let's go ahead and hang on those words. Something to look forward to. What are you looking forward to? As we just mentioned, the tour hit for a couple of nights, the most iconic buildings on the planet, but there are more places, more people, more hearts to touch. What are you looking forward to?
I think just doing this tour and reaching all the cities.
Is there going to be a part 3, part 4, maybe? Like, what's up, bro?
Man, at this point, it's not impossible.
Okay.
but super happy to go to Mexico and Guatemala and just really play my music over there, because I think we had been waiting for so long, and it's finally here, and I'm super excited to where my culture is from, to finally play where the heart of it is at.
A word that you said in that response there is we. Now, a lot of people, think about it just being you sitting there and calming the crowd, and you could hear a pin drop in these arenas, but it's we. Talk about the team around you, the people who help you, because it takes a village, and a lot of folks don't fully realize that. What does it mean to you to have those people who and I'm going to emphasize that word we around you?
I stand on shoulders of people, and it's a whole team that is all behind my career, and it's not just me.
For sure.
I mean, it's my family and the support I have, behind, and my fans too. It's not. It's just it's accumulation of everyone who.
Do you get those same goosebumps when, you know what I'm saying? You're talking Houston rodeo energy. You're talking like, these sold out shows, but the moment that everyone in these, 1,000-seater buildings get quiet, what's that like to you from that, point of the stage and the fan interaction where it's like, damn, I could hear that person cough over there in the corner. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have thought that when there's 70,000 people here. What is that feel like to you from where you're seeing us as the fans in the audience?
Yeah, it's surreal, and I always I'll never forget the Houston Rodeo experience. That was one of my bigger shows.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. That's not a small place to play,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. It's I was very nervous because, you know, I wasn't sure how many people were there just to see the rodeo and how
Yeah.
many people were actually there to see my performance at the end of the night. Because, whoever isn't there for me is just gonna leave.
Mm-hmm.
And
And it's a long day.
yeah, yeah, you feel every minute. And I just remember, halfway through the set, there was still the same amount of people
Yeah.
from the rodeo, and it was just that's when I knew that the crowd was there for me as well, and I felt the love from the Houston rodeo.
Man, you've been doing it for a while, bro. And I want to, before we get into the brand new single, everybody was bugging because you've been teasing us for a while, but now we're going a couple of days since it's dropped. The fans are making TikTok videos and crying to it and all that. But I want to go back to when you received the phone call or maybe the email. I have it right here highlighted. The cover of Rolling Stone magazine, man. The future of music. Those are heavy words, dude. Now, first off, how big was the smile? And second off, what? There it is. See, where the camera's at. Make sure they zoom in because it feels right in the heart, right?
For
But
sure,
also, sense of responsibility that comes with such an accomplishment. How did that feel for you to know that I'm just getting started?
yeah. When I got the phone call, I was in shock because I was in shock because it's not a lot of Mexican American acts that are on the front cover of Rolling Stone, and it was just a true honor to be able to represent música mexicana and the culture, and it was just such a sweet moment for me. It felt like a milestone.
How many copies did the family pick up, bro?
Quite too many.
We got boxes back home.
Yeah, I mean, as Mexicans have the biggest families,
Yeah.
so we,
Oh yeah, it's every. Yeah, I feel you, dude. Listen. Growing up a Southern California kid, man, I spent plenty of time with a lot of, a lot of family that love hard. Not to say anywhere else doesn't love as hard, but it goes back to early part of our conversation. It takes a village, man, and that sense of pride. But also, I was just home in Cali a little bit ago, and I was having a conversation with my uncle, and he was asking me like, "Man, how are you, nephew? So proud of you. What made you not want to fall into those pitfalls, and what made you along your growth? We're so proud of you." And I try to tell him, it's just that. I wanted to let you all know that, you're not going to have to worry about me. I'm going to work my damnedest to be my best version of myself for you all. Was it that same sort of, passion in your heart to try to do your best? And damn it, a paycheck shows up when you just get to do what you love to do, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think you put your all into something that you love, and the check comes after.
Yeah.
But I think
That's not what you do it for.
Yeah, exactly. It's just ever since I was little, I had a love for music, and it was just natural. I think it wasn't like forced at all.
Here's where I'm gonna go with that. The same way that part of the conversation is what I took away from my chat with my uncle and my family is I made myself a promise, and that's the way that I kind of interpreted your new single. You know what I mean? It's all about that. I'm making myself a promise to be that dude, to make sure that I am my best version of self. Mi promete. Tell me about it, dude.
Yeah, exactly what you said. Like that song. It's about checking yourself, and it's like a reminder. It's like it's a very therapeutic song for sure, because it's, especially if you're going through a heartbreak, it's that reminder that sometimes you do have to let go. You gotta keep your word.
Yeah. No, dead ass, man. I mean, it's a feeling that when you are singing from the heart and you're truly who you are, it doesn't matter what language. And again, it goes back to what we were saying. Music transcends. Where have you been, or are you looking forward to going, that you're like, wow, they might not fully understand the lyrics, but the way they are connecting, I didn't know I was going to have this type of connection. Is there a particular place that's still on the globe that you're looking to touch down and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
You
my
kind of said Mexico and Guatemala, but anywhere else?
yeah. My dream to play and do a show would be Europe. I feel like
Yeah.
that was always like another dream of mine, and to just travel to Europe would be insane.
Obviously you got your passport. I was gonna make sure you had your real ID because otherwise you can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't get places without that star in the upper right hand corner of the license. So let that be a PSA for me to anybody that's watching and listening. Get those real IDs taken care of. Otherwise you're not gonna be able to see my dude Ivan anywhere on the planet. Before we let you go up out of here, man, I need to know about some of these loves and hates, man. Understand that you love history documentaries. Michael Jackson is an influence, but you hate olives?
Oh, yeah. And mushrooms.
And mushroom, bro. All right, so wait, but somebody told me that you're allergic to mushrooms.
Allergic to mushrooms.
But where olives?
Olives?
What's the reasoning behind that,
I
fam?
think, like, because there's, like, the green olives, and then there's, like, the...
And let me know if I'm making you feel a certain way by even asking this question, because I don't want to put you in that type of...
No,
all
I'm
right.
just kidding. No, all good. No. Yeah, I just think they have like a strong flavor. It's not my cup of tea.
I'm not doing any of that. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, man. I'm gonna put a bow on the conversation right here. But the thing is, I've been a fan for a little bit. I heard your name buzzing. I want to say it was like 2023 Lollapalooza. Mm-hmm. First festival, Chicago. You know, I mean, I was there doing some work, but I was hearing amongst just the fans, like, yo, there's some really dope artists on this lineup. And then I was like, okay. Couple of, about a week or so ago, I was like, oh, he's coming to Radio City Music Hall. All right. I saw the Tiny Desk concert. Like, you are ticking so many amazing boxes because of who you are. And I don't want you to forget that, bro. So the comparison to Michael Jackson, I know it's a daunting one. It may seem like it's a thing, but you are hitting souls and touching hearts the same way that he has, bro. And I just don't want you to forget that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and lead with that, bro. For real, man. So, Mirada, the album, we already got that. Obviously the tour is popping off. Radio City Music Hall, I could crumble this up, man. I'm not going to throw it at you, but I'm going to say, man, this has just been a true, it's been a really good opportunity for me to learn that the human behind the music is every bit what I expected. So congratulations to you, dude.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always, man. Can we give Ivan a round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen?